Welcome. I am Professor Eric Martin here at Lewis Clark State College. And if you're watching this video, you must be signed up for either History 102 or History 101 in the online format. Now, the content of the two courses is different, but the setup is identical. So I'm going to use the same video to discuss them both. As you'll see through the course of the semester, I use these short 15-minute YouTube videos to introduce the week. They are not lectures. It's more like the class announcements parts of class that is telling you what to do and how to get involved. Once in a while, I'll use the same setup for both classes. Today's one of them. I'm introducing the courses. Now, the other thing is I'm not sure I can get everything done I need to do in this introductory video in 15 minutes. YouTube limits me to 15 minutes. So there might be two of them. And I am a complete novice at figuring out how to do this, so you'll just have to forgive the fact that we're shooting them in my basement and the fact that this has somewhat less than Hollywood quality to the videos. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you figured out how to get into the website. I strongly suggest you just explore the website, especially if you have never taken an online course before. You've got those links on the left-hand side of the site. One of them says our immediate schedule, course content and syllabus, announcements. The part that says, course email or course messages. You've got the part for discussion boards, links to the videos, assessments, all that stuff there, right? Just go through there. Make sure you have a sense about where things can be located in the website. Also, if you have taken online courses before, still do that. I designed this course, a long time ago, 10 years ago. And I don't necessarily use the cookie cutter stuff that the publishers send me. I've kind of done it myself, so it might be a little different than what you've seen. So cruise around the website, just kind of explore it. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to go to the course syllabus and I want you to print it out. And I want you to put this video on pause and read it. And then come back. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the syllabus a little bit, but I'm not going to read every word to you. I'm going to assume you've read it. I'm going to assume you've looked at it. There's a few things I want to explain to you though. Now's the time to put this video on pause. Go get the syllabus. Here we are. We're back. You must have unpaused. Let's talk for just a few minutes about the syllabus. Okay, my office. My office at the top of the syllabus, it is 310 Spalding Hall. Just because this is an online course does not mean you shouldn't come drop by the office. My office hours are listed on the syllabus. Come by. That's also a good time to call me on the phone if you don't live in Lewiston. If I'm not with another student, I'll answer. I strongly suggest you take advantage of the office hours. And I strongly suggest you do it early. Don't wait until there's problems. Drop by, introduce yourself. It's fun for me to meet the online students because so much of the time it is y'all are a mystery to me. So I think dropping by the office just to say hi forms some kind of a human connection that could be useful. My phone number's on here. In terms of getting a hold of me through the email, I want you to use the course email or the course message function here with Blackboard. All right, that way I get so much spam that comes to my lcsc.edu address that this way I know that I get it. I don't get any spam through this system. So please send me your emails this way. If you send them to me during the week, during business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 type stuff, you'll get a reply in 24 hours. If you send them to me Friday night, I might not get to it until Monday morning. I'll probably get to it earlier than that, but just so you can be prepared, I'm not one of these people that is completely glued to his computer all the time, although I try to stay up with it. Course description. The name of the game is world history. And on the one hand, that means looking at everything that ever happened in the world. Not really. What we're going to do is we're going to approach history in such a way that we look at topics that require us to look at more than one place at once. I'll give you a real quick example, the history of disease. The history of disease, you want to get a sense about, malaria, for example. It's not that interested in the political borders that people have put up. So only studying malaria through the history of, Venezuela or, the United States doesn't get you very far. You need to be more fluid and be to look at a few different places at once. That's what we're going to do, whether you're in History 101 or 102. To get a sense of the kinds of topics we're going to look at, open up that Kevin Riley book. Just look through the chapters. That's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about. Additionally, the course is going to focus on you figuring out how historians come to their conclusions. All right? Think about this like a science course. If you were taking biology, you wouldn't expect just to be told this is how it is. You'd expect some hands-on experience, dissecting plants, looking through animals, whatever, to come up with some of your own conclusions. And we're going to do that. And that Riley book is full of that kind of stuff. Primary sources that you're going to be responsible for going through and figuring out what they mean. The purpose of the course. Most of you, maybe all of you, are in here because it's a gen ed requirement. But I think that it's worth thinking for just a little bit about what gen ed really means. What does it mean to be a generally educated person? How's that different from I want to be a nurse, or I want to run a business, or I want to, whatever the profession is that you have. There is some value to having a broader knowledge about the world around you and the world that has come before you, that to help make you a generally educated person. The other part of the generally educated person is that one of the missions for this class is going to be to introduce you to a lot of material. Some of it maybe you have dealt with, maybe not. Some of it maybe you've heard of, but to kind of do it like if you went to a restaurant and you'd never eaten anything there before. You're at some kind of a foreign food restaurant, and you just order the sampler platter. Let's just see what you got. That way I can find out what I like, what I don't like. And the idea with this class is hopefully you'll use the material to come back to some of these things later. Okay, but the gen ed mission of the course has got to be more than just learning history. That's the main part. But the other elements of it also, learning how to be better writers, learning how to be better communicators, learning how to be better thinkers, learning how to be better at doing deep reading. These are the kind of skills that you are going to get mileage out of. Pick your profession for the rest of your life. Pick your major. All right. Okay, here on the syllabus where it says required readings and viewings. Bridging World History. It's a video series we use. It comes with a website. You can see that on the Here is the Deal document. We'll get to that in a few minutes. The only part of that series we're using are the videos. Don't get freaked out about all the other stuff there. We're just using the videos. And that's going to count as the lecture part of the course. The two books you have for the course is you have the Worlds of History by Kevin Riley. If you're in 101, you have Volume 1. If you're in 102, you have Volume 2. That book is where most of our discussion is going to come from. And then you have the Bentley and Ziegler Traditions and Encounters book. That book is what you are going to use to make sense of the Kevin Riley book. I don't have week by week assignments for that Worlds of History textbook. My idea behind that is if we're doing something on Ming China or the European Enlightenment, then you are looking that stuff up in the book. Now, do you have to use the book? How come you just can't, look it up on, the internet and find this material out and save some money on the book? Here's the deal. If I thought I could trust you guys to do that, that would be fine. But my experience has been most of y'all are going to take the bait for the very first website that you find, and you'll just believe it. Or you'll just go to Wikipedia. This book is trustworthy. It has proper information in it. You need this book. Okay. Grading and evaluation. Grading and evaluation is fairly simple. 30% of your grade rides on classroom discussion. 20% rides on the first exam, 25% on the second exam, 25% on the third exam. Simple enough. We'll continue with this discussion about grades as you go. When the exams are occurring are listed right there on the syllabus. Participation in the class discussion boards. I can't emphasize enough how important that is for this portion of the class, because we're trying to recreate a discussion-oriented course. And that is not easy in an online format. So you are required to make a discussion post more or less every other week based on your last name. We'll get into that a little more later, probably in the next video. If you want to participate every week, you should. It's the only form of extra credit I'm going to offer you. Participate every week. We can talk about this a little bit more as we go. Academic honesty. Come up with your own, postings. That's not hard. Then in the syllabus, there is a long Lewis Clark State College syllabus addendum of consumer information, disability accommodation, students' rights and responsibilities, students' insurance. Read through it. Then, lo and behold, what do you find at the end? You find our schedule. Look at the schedule. Pay attention to when the exams are. Plan your life around those exams. All right? Do not be the one. If one of you will do it. Do not be the one who sends me an email 3 days after an exam saying, oops, I forgot. Your exams are on here, okay? Your exams are on here. That's the schedule. So keep that schedule in mind, put it on your calendar. Okay, you can see it's already taken me almost 15 minutes to just kind of get through the syllabus there. One of the things that I would like for you to do is to introduce yourselves. There is a discussion thread. You go to the discussion boards. The folder is called Introductions, What is History? And there is a forum called Introductions. Please go there right after this video and introduce yourself. We're going to use that for enrollment verification. And what that means is we're going to use that so you guys can get your financial aid money. You put that up, you put a posting up in there, I'll mark you off. Also, now there's another document called the Here is the Deal document, Syllabus Part 2. Go to the website, print it out, read it, and meet me in the next video. See you guys in just a little bit.